I'm live. I'm wet, and that's okay. I'm going to stay here until I get this done. This is Jim Adkins from Adkins Results Coaching. How are you? Today, I want to talk to you a little bit about relationships, and I'm going to try to be brief because it is raining and my notes are turning into mush, and I know you're busy. So here we go. Why relationships? Am I a relationship expert? Well, I have several relationships. That makes me at least somebody who delves in the science or the art of relationship. And on that note, I have some really, really good relationships. So that makes me a good person to talk to about habits, beliefs, and things that we can do to make our relationships wonderful. Why this topic now? Why talk and brag or swell your head with the information that you know, Jim? Well, let me tell you. I hate talking like that. I have a lot of people this week and last week come to me with relationship not problems, but relationship questions, things that are going on in their relationship, around the relationship, because of their relationship. And it hits me, and I love this type of stuff. That's my rain cover for my computer. I'll try to duck it down a little bit, but anyway, I love it when life lines itself up and our collective consciousness becomes such that my inquisitive or potential helpful essence at the moment is countered or met by people who can use that information. Never ceases to amaze me, but it always pleases me that when I do a video like this, I get so many people saying, wow, you're talking to me. Or you know what, I needed that today, or I was thinking about that. And listen, it's a two-way street. And I love that. So please feel free to comment. As a matter of fact, I've begged people on the other videos to comment. The reason I use these platforms is so that we can have a conversation. I love good conversations. If you stop having honest and open conversations, what's the world going to come to? I really believe that. So let's see if I can manage that a little better. We'll see if that falls down. So anyway, give me some comments. Come back on here, talk to you about it. Let me get into the relationships. And those of you that have come to me asking questions about relationships, holy crap, look at these notes running. This is for you and anybody else that needs your help. Okay, needs my help. Number one, in a relationship. Now, let's define relationship. A relationship can be any two or more people that have agreed, or at least have a heartfelt agreement that they want to be around or within each other's world. Okay. Now let's get to deeper relationships and let's talk about marriage for a minute. There's some people that are married, getting married, getting divorced, that approached me with their relationship questions. Let's address a couple of those. And I'm not going to be independently specific, so I'm not going to address you personally, okay? Computer's getting soaking wet, guys. But I'm going to give you some simple advice that I came across that I think fits with everything. The number one piece of advice I'm going to give you comes from my own experience. Open, honest communication. If you can't be open and honest about who you truly are with the person you love, you really need to step back and take a look at that relationship. There's got to be one or two things that are going on that disallow you and the other parties to be open and honest. And it can be a lot of things, and it can be addressed in these things I'm going to tell you right now. But that's my number one. And when you do speak to each other, speak with love, speak with honor, have a vocabulary in a dialect with each other that's playful, that's loving. Always stop and put your loved one first. If you want to bitch at somebody, sometimes it happens, right? You get in a mood and things are just not aligned up, and you start spewing off. That's really about you, not them. It really is. And if you can stop with that, me, and go, okay, I'm in this love relationship. I'm talking about marriage, or a love relationship, because it's not the institution, it's the people. For them, I'm in this for us, but for them, this is my love. My world is this person. Why am I treating them this way? What can I do to make it better? And once you stop that and you have an honest, helpful, loving, honorable communication with that person, things will change. That's my number one. Let's go through some of these that I got from one of my mentors. Number one, create aliveness every day. Do you remember what it was like at the beginning of your relationship? And this goes for people that are planning on getting married that I talked to, people that are married that are having some struggles, and people that are actually looking at divorce. And we're going to address that in a second too. But what was your relationship like in the beginning? You would do anything for them, right? Right? If it wasn't, I don't know why you're together now, but most relationships start out with you're willing. I mean, think about the things you did for each other in the very beginning of your relationship. And now you're 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 20 years in. If you're 20 years in, I don't need to talk to you. You're good. Maybe. So you're in the relationship now. How many of those things still occur? Do you still romance each other? Do you still buy flowers? Even though they don't buy me flowers, they just die. Buy flowers. Okay? Pick a flower, bring it to them. What do you do to create new aliveness in your relationship? What would you do in the beginning that you don't do today? That's a good way to start looking at it. Let me hustle through these real quick for you. Number two, find more passion. One of my mentors told this story about this 80-year-old couple who was all over each other. He was doing a speech and he's talking to this, and this couple just wouldn't keep their hands off each other. 60, 70, 80-year-olds. I can't remember the age, but they were older than me. And they were very passionate. They were kissing, they were hugging, to the point of, hey, get a room. And when he said that, my wife said, that's what people tell us. I don't know, the same way. We have passion. And he asked the people, he said, I want to interview you. What's your story? What is it that you do that keeps your passion alive in your relationship? And she smiled and laughed. And I won't go through the whole story, but she basically said, we are willing to talk and try anything together to make each other happy at least once. And we keep the things we like and do them again. Okay. She also said, put your words into action and touch. Now, not everybody likes to be touched but let me take that back. Everybody likes to be touched. Sometimes it's not the key element that makes them feel loved. Sometimes you need to verbalize it. Sometimes you need to show it to them. Sometimes you need to touch them. But their secret was passionate touching. And, and that's a wonderful thing. So create passion. On that note, when you come home from a busy day and you see each other, is the first instinct, where have you been? How come you weren't home earlier? I've been waiting for you. Or is your first instinct, honey, I'm home. Come here and kiss me. Sit on my lap, hold my hand. Let's talk about your day. If you have to pretend to be somebody you're not when you come home to make the other person in the room happy, you're in the wrong relationship. Think about that. If you have to pretend to be somebody you're not to make a relationship work, you're in the wrong relationship. You ever heard the expression, oh, people change, and I will get in this relationship and they will change? You hear that a lot in abusive relationships. Oh, but they're working on it. No, 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 when people change, they become unhappy. They become people they're not. And when that happens, it's only a matter of time before you split. Why? Somebody's not happy with who they've become. Now, can you change certain habits? Can you change certain behaviors? Yes, you can change what you're doing now to better yourself. But that's your choice, not theirs. Understand? You're changing to better you for them, not because of them. I hope that helps. More passion. Number three, change your story. Everybody's got a story, and the story dictates how you filter your world. If you've been wronged and you keep that story, well, that's just how they are. Everything they do filters through that. That's just how they are. And pretty soon, that's just how they'll always be, becomes I have to change or they have to change, and now we're not happy. So change your story. What do you love about your relationship? If you're going through a problem with trust, and they've broken your trust, it's harder to get it back once it's been broken. I know. But if you're willing to take that chance and love unconditionally, now you've got to draw your own lines. If they're cheating on you and it keeps happening, see you later, right? I don't see any reason. This is just my opinion. I don't see any reason to hang on to that relationship if they can't stop that. Unless that's an agreement you've made and you're okay with it. I don't think so, right? So that's number one. And when how can I do this? I don't know if I can do this right. Loving unconditionally means the willingness to forgive, forget, and then plot future events. It happened. It was a mistake. You question their actions. You never question their reasoning. If you love somebody and you truly appreciate them and you're in a relationship for each other, that unconditional love will carry you through most issues, but you do have to draw your lines. If it continues, then you can love them at a distance, and that's how that goes. So change your story. Number 4, really speak up. Learn. I said this at the beginning, have an open, honest communication. If you don't want to do something that your loved one wants to do, and you kind of resent it and hold it in and you resist doing it, but you don't say anything about it, that resistance is going to turn into a resentment. That resentment's going to turn into rejection, and pretty soon that's going to turn into repression. And once that happens, your communication is over, and you might as well let it go. Number 5, master your emotions. Learn to be the king, and I'm not talking about fake it. I've learned to be the king or queen of all that you feel. Basically, life is information. It's giving you information. When you receive that information, it's up to you to put a meaning to it. Your state of being will filter and dictate the meanings that come from that based on your past experience or what you expect to feel. Rewind that, play it again. I'm not going to go back over it. We're 11 minutes in. I want to get you back and on your way. But master your emotions. If your key emotion is anger, or what's some of the emotions some people are saying, and I know anxiety or depression, this is because of the story you tell yourself. This is because of the state that you choose to be in. It's because of the way you physically hold yourself and the words that you say. Trust me, I'll come back and repeat all this and do this on another video, but those are the reasons, and they're easy to redirect and change. Absolutely. So master your emotions. Don't make excuses. What I wrote? I wrote good notes here. Life is about leadership and being truthful to yourself. I love that one. Trust. That's it. Decide what you're going to put up with. Okay. On those notes, if you ever in your relationship threaten to end it, it might as well be over. Think about this. If you've said recently, I'm done with this. This is over. I don't want to be here anymore. You've already put your finger on the button. And now your partner is also going to be thinking, oh, they could leave me at any minute. I better put my finger on the button too. And pretty soon you're looking to be the first one to push the button because you don't want to be scared and alone or left behind. You want to do the leaving, right? If you've ever threatened to end your relationship, it might as well be over. Because that seed is now a weed that's going to grow and destroy your garden. What I need you to do is try to start today. If that's already been done, you didn't have this information, I'm going to forgive you. And you're going to let it go. And you're never going to say it again unless it's over and you want out. Does it have to be hateful? No, you can leave or end a relationship on a positive note and still love and care for each other. You just don't belong together. If the other person's not willing to make the sacrifice and change, you can't be a one-sided relationship. Please evaluate that. Get a third party in there that you can talk to that will help point out to each other, look, this is what needs to take place, this way or this way, and then make the decision to do it. If you're in a relationship only to say we're still married after all these years, that's the wrong reason. If you're in a relationship that's not working because of the kids, that's the wrong reason. Kids are resilient. As long as you're good people apart instead of terrible people together, if you can make an agreement that's beneficial for the kids and not be angry and selfish. And I see that happen a lot. People get a divorce and, I'm going to control them by using the kids. Don't do that. There are better ways to do that, but don't stay in a broken relationship because of the kids. It's not healthy. All right. I love you. If you're in a relationship because you're afraid to be alone, that's not a reason either. We can talk about this more. You people that came to me with your questions personally, listen to this again. Then share it, then comment, then come back and talk to me and tell me what decisions you made based on what I just said. And I'll help you a little bit further. All right, guys. Until next time, I still love you. On your mark, hit set. It's wet now. Grow. I don't know if the buttons are going to work. I might have killed my computer, guys. Uh-oh. I better dry it off a little bit. All right, I'll see you on the other side.